The head judge said this, and I'm paraphrasing. In first place, it's whoever you would want to sleep with the most. Said it to a group of males and females. Not going to say that person's name. If you're watching this, you know who you are. You think Coach Greg is bad for saying that women can look delicious? How many times have I said how hot and how delicious Mike Thurston actually is? Muscles oozing out of everywhere, looking delicious all the time. Video by none other than Mr. Delicious himself, Mike Thurston. Coach Greg, and today another natty or not on Mike Mr. Delicious Thurston. Horrible. How could Greg say that? I mean, after all, it's not as if Arnold Schwarzenegger himself would sit there and say, I'm drooling watching women's wellness and bikini.
I'm sitting down here and I'm drooling. So, I mean, it's like
And so is this actually shocking for someone to actually speak out and say what every single person is thinking? Remember, there's a show, it's called Seinfeld, and he just said what's actually going on. He's just speaking about the elephant in the room. Well, the elephant in the room is women's bikini is overtly sexual. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God, is it really? They're wearing thongs and they're bending over, arching their backs and walking towards the back of the stage. What do you think the entire audience is looking at? Are they staring at what style of shoes they're wearing? Are you wondering what size feet they have? You're thinking, is her booty better than the girl on the left and to the right? That is how they're judging from the rear. And remember, I was a judge. That's right, was a judge, no longer allowed to judge. And so, am I in fact a liar? John Bravo says, Coach Greg lied about being a judge. Did I really? Judge for years, decades. And so, to the same extent, am I not an IFBB pro? Coach Greg, IFBB pro, it says it on my Instagram channel. Am I an actual pro? Well, I haven't competed on the pro stage in 4 years, and I haven't paid my IFBB Pro membership fee, and so am I actually a pro? Well, if you think the answer is no, do you want to now compete me in my next amateur show? And so am I a pro or am I not? And so the title reads, Greg Doucette banned for life by the IFBB. Being an inquiring person, I said, wow, am I really? This is interesting. No one sent me anything. I haven't gotten a letter. I haven't been called by anyone. No one's told me one single thing. And so when I called, the lawyer says, if you haven't received anything, none of this actually applies. And so seeing as I do have, in fact, friends who are judges, higher up people, someone wrote me and said, hey, I watched that video, just wanted to tell you the following. I think that's a clickbait headline. I just confirmed you are not banned from the IFBB and can still compete as a pro. I have the receipts. You can post whatever you want on Instagram, but it does not say I'm banned from the IFBB for life. Perhaps I'm not allowed to judge. I haven't been told. I'm blocked on their IG channel. I'm going to go over what they said and say what it actually means. And the comments started coming in, of which I then responded. And lo and behold, all the comments were deleted and disabled. Can't comment. And in case you're wondering about judging, what you have to do to be a judge is you have to pay a fee. It costs you $150 to become a CPA judge. How much do I get paid when I do judging? I get paid $150. And so in case you're not good at math, I'll do it for you. When I judge, I make $0. Zero. I could tell you so many stories of what I've seen go on, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to throw these people under the bus. And if you're watching this right now, because I know you are, I know you're nervous of what I'm going to say, I'm not going to out you.
Following his unprofessional conduct in using the credibility of the judging system for his own personal gain, which I'm dying to know what it is.
Do you know what this is about? I made 2 videos back last year about men's physique and women's wellness, of which in those videos I said, I know how judging works because I am in fact a judge. For example, when you bring out 5 competitors, the person in the middle is most likely going to win. The person on either side, second and third. And so if you're watching the Mr. Olympia and you see 5 people brought out, it's likely going to be first place, second and third in either order. Doesn't matter. The judges can then decide that. And 4th and 5th. That's why when you see a person's name called towards the center, they're pumped, they're excited because they know they'll probably have a good chance to win. And so what happened was I was criticized for making those videos and I received a copyright strike. That's right, copyright strike. You guys don't like it when people get copyright stricken, right? Well, they were upset. Oh my God, Coach Greg is talking about women's wellness. He said that the criteria for building muscle, it's getting a little bit out of control. That the girls in women's wellness often have larger muscles in their legs than even I do, and I'm a male on HRT. And so I gave you my opinion. I also said in men's physique, the guys are getting too big, too jacked. I would rather see smaller physiques that could win. You remember guys of the likes of Jeff Seed from back in the day? But today, those competitors, they're bigger than bodybuilders. The men's physique competitors are so built, so jacked, so impressive, they would beat me when I was a professional bodybuilder. And so you can say I'm shitting on all the divisions, the categories, but I'm telling you what I think based on my years, decades of experience. I'm trying to help the sport, but they don't like it when I ruffle feathers. When I say, hey, classic physique, it's not fair. The weight classes, it's enhanced and it's favoring Chris Bumstead. Oh, no one does anything. Then suddenly 7 pounds are added to Urz's class. And so no, nobody listens to Coach Greg. My ideas are silly. Why would we listen to him? And so in my most recent video, I commented on how Bikini and Wellness are very sexualized. That's right, I said it. They are sexualized, as in they're trying to look very sexy on stage. That the appearance, the way they act, is very conducive to looking sexy. Can we say that word now? In comparison, women's figure, women's physique, bodybuilding, a lot less overtly sexual. And why is that? Well, in these categories, for starters, they're wearing thongs. Thongs. And when you turn around to the rear, they're arching their backs, bending over, sticking out their derrieres further than last time. And the hair extensions and so on are literally covering up their back muscles. All the hard work that these ladies put in the gym are being covered by their hair. Covered, blocked. You can't judge it. And so when I said the judges are not looking at your back muscles, am I wrong in some way? I'm not saying, wow, nice traps, lats, Terry's major. I'm not saying any of them. I can't see them. Can't see them. And now, ladies, walk slowly to the curtain in the rear. And so they slowly walk towards the rear curtain. What do you think the judges are looking at? Are they looking at their hairstyle? Perhaps a little bit. Oh, her Achilles tendon, the tie-in down to the ankle, I'm not a fan of that. Or are they primarily looking at the glutes and where the hamstrings tie into the glutes? About 1 foot of area. And so am I actually wrong? And so just because I have the courage to say it, is there something wrong with that? And so what is my opinion? Well, I've been around this for a long time. When women's bikini first came out, we used to have them cover their glutes. We had 1/2 and 3/4 coverage. It was way less sexual. Then suddenly, every single year, the women would arch their backs more and the suits kept getting smaller, and so rules were put in place. We had, at the weigh-ins, you had to check in their suits. If the suits didn't have a certain amount of fabric, they couldn't wear it. We didn't want the competitions to be overtly sexual. And so consider this. Would you want your daughter right now to compete in a women's bikini competition? Would you want her to put on a thong and walk slowly towards the rear of the curtain? I don't think so. I would not be comfortable judging that woman. She should not be allowed. It is for adults only. And oftentimes I'm thinking, this is not child-friendly. I wouldn't want a teenager sitting in that audience. This is very sexual. The way they're shaking their shoulders, shaking the glutes, twisting the glutes from side to side as they turn. And so if you want to keep your heads under a rug and remain plugged into the matrix and not talk about the elephant in the room, well, so be it. But to say I'm a misogynist for pointing things out, for telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. What you want to hear, it's not sexual at all. It's all judged on their hard work. Of course, they're putting in hard work. How do you think they get those physiques? But they're covering up that hard work with their hair extensions. And to the front, breast implants, lip filler, Botox, all the makeup in the world, spray tans. It is very overtly sexual. And so if you don't want to compete in that, well, don't. But to act as if it doesn't exist, well, that is a problem. They said, bikini, it's a new class. They did not know how to judge it. The head judge said this, and I'm paraphrasing. In first place, it's whoever you would want to sleep with the most. Said it to a group of males and females. Not going to say that person's name. If you're watching this, you know who you are. And so to all the ladies out there, if you're watching this, Do you not understand you're competing in a hot or not competition based on the face and the body? They're judging everything. And so, no, I'm not actually a judge anymore. They're not going to let me. But you know what? They never told me officially that I can't judge. And so when I attended that Arnold Classic competition as a fan in the audience cheering for those competitors, that's right, I cheered from start to finish, made videos, promoted them. I made those comments as a fan as I was not even allowed to judge at the time. I had not paid my $150 for CPA membership fee to become a judge. They had no intentions to hire me as a judge. And so am I actually lying by saying, hey, I'm a judge, I did this? It would be the same thing like saying, hey, I am an IFBB pro. I know what it's like to diet for competition. Getting back to using the credibility of the judging panel for my own personal gain, I received a phone call. And in that phone call, I was told, yeah, Greg, you're making millions of dollars on YouTube, and it's all because you're a pro and you're leveraging the fact that you're a pro. That people are listening to your channel because you're an IFBB pro and you say this and say that. I laughed. Raise your hand, everybody. If you think the only reason I'm making money, that I have millions of followers, is because I say the words IFBB judge. How many of you are watching me because of my status as a judge? That is what they're complaining about, that I made financial gain from making those statements, from being a judge, and so they didn't want me to judge anymore. And so essentially, this is what happened. I was censored for speaking out and trying to help and represent the people. Men's physique, I said they should downsize. They're too big. What did they then do? They stipulated there are now weight classes for men's physique. They downsized them. I made a video, they downsized them. And in women's wellness, I said they're getting too big. Girls have so much muscle. Does anyone disagree with me? How many of you think that women's wellness should get bigger? That perhaps they've gone too far? Have you seen the size of their quads? I showed representation, examples of women who had larger legs than me, perhaps even leaner. And I said in classic physique, hey, maybe the weight classes should be adjusted. Me and my brother, Editor Steve, a biostatistician, we actually presented this to the IFBB years ago. They didn't listen to our results. It took 2 or 3 days to make this, spent all day doing it, and they didn't listen to it, and they just put arbitrary numbers. And the proof is in the pudding. Go look at the former stats. Height to weight, look at the old stats, look at them now. Which do you think statistically makes sense? And so in my current last video, trying to help the ladies, I think that women's bikini is gone too far in terms of its overtly being sexual. I would prefer if they didn't have to arch their back so much. If they could perhaps have more coverage. Now, personally, I like seeing it. Me, personally. But I understand that not all women want to be objectified. Not all women want to stand up 90% naked in a thong and almost be forced to get breast implants to compete at the top. You doubting me? Look at the Women's Olympia and count the number of breast implants versus those without. Versus a sample size of women who are not competitors, what population group has more implants? And so I criticize, I give my opinions, I state facts, and if you disagree with me, that is fine, I don't mind that. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to like this video if you like it. Did you like the video? Watch those 2 bloops and all the supplements like Delta Sleep to help you get to sleep and GO2 Max for improved cardio. Everything, please head over to the website, code Greg, 15% off. Get the free diet and training program, get the supplements, become one of the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.